ladies and gentlemen, the Malayalam film industry, Mollywood, has been shaken to the core. Every day, more and more voices are revealing the trauma inflicted on them over the last few years. 17 cases of sexual harassment have been registered following complaints lodged by victims in the wake of the release of the Justice Hema Committee report. The accounts of trauma are piling up. Another actor, Sonia Malhar, has also filed a complaint against a Malayalam actor on charges of sexual harassment. The chorus for justice is resonating across the film industries in India. And tonight, joining me on the news hour is well-known actor Khushbu, a woman who's decided to speak now after many, many years of abuse within her own family. And she's speaking now. Why? We'll ask her. Khushbu coming up on the other side. Joining me tonight on the News Hour special is actor Khushbu, a household name for all of us, a woman we've seen giving great performances, a woman who's led the world as an activist, as an actor, as a politician. Thank you very much, Khushbu, for joining me. I just want to ask you, what are your first thoughts out of reading the Justice Hema Committee report? It's taken the cover of the very ugly book of women exploitation as it exists, not just in Mollywood, but across film industries, you would say?
Yes, Navika, but I also would like to say that we as the people from the film industry are always looked upon with a magnifying glass. Sexual abuse against women, asking for sexual favors in return for some kind of work, giving indecent proposals. This happens on every day-to-day life in every field, whether it is cinema or probably IT, or you talk about aviation, media, politics, health, everywhere. Wherever you see a woman working, you won't find a single woman who would say that I have not been subjected to this kind of abuse. Every place, every day when a woman is traveling in a bus, she is brushed against by a man. When she is in a train, somebody tries to rub her against her. Whereas she is in an auto rickshaw, share auto, somebody tries to, brush against her breast and say, sorry, I was trying to get down. So these kind of abuses happen on day-to-day basis everywhere.
True.
I have been in this industry for 4 decades. And for me, this industry is my home. And if my home is going to be dirty, I'm going to get down to clean it.
True, Khushbu, you've spoken up, and we need more women to come out, speak up, because first you'll have to see the dirt to begin to clean it. Noticing the dirt, making up your mind to take action comes next. I want to ask you, you say the film industry is your home. Are you saying it didn't happen to you, but it does happen? Do you know of instances when it happened? Did it happen to you? Because people can only talk out of personal experience. And as you said, it happens to women in any walk of life, even in their daily chores, getting onto a bus, onto a metro, getting off. It happens to us all the time. So, Khushbu, did it happen to you in the film industry?
Navika, probably I was one of the very lucky ones where I have always worked with people who have protected me. There was a very stray incident only once in my life when I had just started out in South. And I was shooting, and there was one Telugu producer, because he thought I didn't have a godfather, I didn't have a father figure. He knew that I have my brothers and my mother to take care of. So he thought probably I would give in to his proposal. And he didn't come on to me directly, but he walked into my makeup room, and he was trying to find ways to send the message across that he was looking for some kind of a favor. And I could grasp that. And the only thing I did, I removed my slippers and I said, I wear size 41. Yahan maar khaoge ya unit ke samne. And he backed off. The message was very clear.
Kudos to you. Brave of you to take that. Was this earlier on in your career? And did it impact? Did the word get around and impact your career later on? How did things pan out for you after this?
The message went on very clear that I'm a no-nonsense person. So even today, even before I walk into the room, my image walks in. So that's what people say, that she's a no-nonsense woman. And I think I'd like to take that forward. I take it with pride that if people think that I'm a no-nonsense woman, I take it with pride. Having said that, I don't see everybody would have that courage because, there are times and we hear that people do give in to these pressures. Probably they do not have the privilege to choose. They do not have the support of the family. They do not have family support. They feel that this is the only way my family is dependent on me, so I can support my family. They feel they come from these small towns with a lot of
dreams in their eyes.
Dreams that I'm going to make it big. I'm going to be somebody people are going to look up at. And they feel that I will not probably able to face the people I have fought with, because most of these girls, they come and they fight with the families to get into the film industry. So I think, they do not have the choice. And that is the saddest part here, that, they're not privileged where they can show the courage. And I think the first time when a woman is given this kind of a proposal of sexual favors in return for some work, the first thing that hits her is she's in a shock. True. She does not know what to do next. She panics. And the second thing it comes to her mind is, if I'm going to talk about it outside, I will be shamed. Yes, the victim blame. What did you do to entice him? Why were you laughing at him? I'm sure you would have given him some kind of a hint that you are available and you are to be blamed. We told you so, don't do this. We told you so that don't speak to this guy. So, she gets into this complete stigma fear that I will be blamed. So she doesn't speak, which is the worst part.
True. Very, very well said, which is why it takes women very, very long to come out and speak about something like this. After the Hema Committee report, Justice Hema Committee report, we're seeing women coming out and speaking. And, it is a taboo. Women do shy away from speaking because they will be shamed, they will be named, they will be, blamed for giving some kind of indications of being available. You're absolutely right. But it's taken you a long time to come about and speak about the child abuse that you suffered as an individual. Yes. What did it mean then to you? How did you react? And how did you just cope and deal with it?
I dealt with it for almost 8 years. My abuse started when I was 8 and it continued till 16. The minute I had the courage to stand up for myself, where I said enough is enough, my father left us. I had the courage to stand up. And for me to speak in public took me a very long time because nobody asked me about it. It was not that I was shying away. Nobody asked me, and there was never an opportunity to speak about it. And I think my family or my close friends know about it. So I have spoken to them. My husband knows about it. I have spoken to him. So there was never an opportunity where you don't go tom-tomming about it, saying that, oh, I have been abused as a child. There is a right place, right time. And I think there was a time where I spoke about it.
True.
So I do not bother. Everybody is entitled to their own opinions. So my only issue is that when you become judgmental, and in today's times with the mobiles in your hand and everything social media at your fingertips, everybody wants to be a judge. They want to pass a judgment as to what kind of a person you are. And I have seen it that even when I opened up about my abuse, there were some people who said that you would have done something to instigate your father to abuse you. I'm like an 8-year-old kid instigating her own father. I mean, so, these kind of issues do happen. And that's why women shy away. They don't want to come out and open and speak about it.
True. Uh, you also in your social media post today spoke about talking to your daughters. The new generation, of course, looks at these issues completely differently. Our conditioning, more conventional, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, different from the way women of today look at it, the Gen Z looks at it. What did they say, and how do they respond, to things that have happened across to women? And did you discuss your own personal horrendous childhood? What else can I call it?
Yes, I have discussed with them. I have told them, because when I teach my girls about good touch and bad touch, when I tell my girls that any kind of an abuse they have to, and when you talk about the sexual abuse to a child, 90% of it happens within the family members. Right. So I had to tell them, I had to warn them, I had to tell them this has happened to me, and you have to be aware as to where you are, who you are with. And if you think that anybody is trying to cross that line, you need to raise a voice. And I had told my children that do not even allow anybody to pinch your cheeks, because even that, I think, is an abuse. So, when I spoke to my girls and we were having this discussion in the morning, I was so proud of my girls, because they stood up for these women who have been silently taking it for so many years. And they said, Amma, it's not important when they speak. They are not probably privileged as you or I am. These women have the courage to speak about it today. Somebody has given them the hope that the perpetrators will be punished. So speak. So I think we need to stand with them. And we, as girls of today's times, we stand with this woman, because the timing is not important. At least today they have had the courage to speak up. I really am very proud of my girls that they stand up for these women today.
Absolutely proud of all of these girls who are raising their voice. And Khushbu, at least somebody like Chinmay Sriprada, she said something very interesting, that the Malayalam film industry, Mollywood, is at least talking about it, so the cleansing will begin. Other industries, do you think it's important, as you said, to talk about it, to look and acknowledge that dirt exists before you begin to clean up? Are other film industries, other professions even addressing this issue? And how do you begin the cleanup? How do you begin to address this entire issue?
Navika, see, the problem is we have very short memory. We speak about it today, we'll forget about it 2 days later. Something else will come up, and we all will be discussing and arguing and having a debate of the other issue. Hema Commission, what happened in Malayalam film industry, or what happens to women across the world on different platforms, the abuse they go through, it's forgotten. For time being, we discuss. Now, I think people ask me why the other actors or the bigger stars are not talking about it. I think they all have to realize that if this kind of a problem exists, we collectively have to come together and speak, break our silence, and stand up with this woman. We need a committee across every field where a woman works, where the women feel safe. And like I said, the kind of people I have worked with, and even from Malayalam industry for that matter, they have been my biggest support. But yes, if these kind of problems exist, we collectively have to address it. We cannot, belonging to the film industry, belonging to one fraternity where we call a family, as a member of the family, you cannot be a mute spectator.
Clearly, time for women to speak up, for others to sit back and take notice. And it doesn't have to be only women speaking up. It can be men as well. It is an equal world. Yes.
Men have to speak.
Absolutely. And not just speak, they have to correct the wrongs of the system. There should be equal opportunity, and in equal opportunity, there should be absolutely no pressure on women. But can we get there? Can we establish accountability? Can we have more women coming out and speaking because they are no longer scared of being judged? That is a society we want to move towards. More power to you, Khushbu. More power to all the women. And yes, we need to raise our voice because it's just time to put an end to all this. We're not going to sit back and take this nonsense forever. We need to stand up and raise our voice. Thank you very much, Khushbu, for joining me on the news.
Thank you, Navika.